Alright folks, in this video I'm going to be taking a look at the GPD WIN with a few open world games which are a little bit more modern than the games that are usually played on the GPD WIN, and I'm also going to be showing up a basic setup of how I run things. So the first thing you notice is that I have ThrottleStop right here, and what ThrottleStop does is it limits your CPU usage and power usage to something that suits your device, and it also reduces the heat, and it can stop your clocks from increasing to a certain extent. So what I've done over here is I have locked my clock to 24T, which is basically 2 gigahertz, and I've lowered my voltage, means the power my device uses, to 6100. Usually the power used when the device on full speed is about 7000 or 7700, so it's a lot and it heats up the device. But by using this, you lower the voltage, you lower your CPU to 2 gigahertz, which is a much more stable clock than the 2.4 gigahertz that usually takes place when you play games. So you did that, and the next thing you need to do is you need to disable Windows Defender. So what that does, it reduces the CPU usage, and I always do that while playing a game. And when you reboot, it always turns on by itself. So I would suggest when you are going to play a game, you just turn off real-time protection, which we'll do right here. So you just basically go to all settings and the securities tab, Windows Defender, and you see it's on. Every time you reboot, it's on, so you just turn it off, and there you go. So let's start with Dragon Age Inquisition, and I have it on my external drive. So this is Dragon Age Inquisition loaded up. I had to skip the load time because it's too long, and it runs pretty well. In combat areas it's about 20 to 30 FPS, anywhere in between. In high population areas where there are a lot of enemies, I mean in cities, it gets a little bit choppy, but when it comes to combat, it runs really well. As you can see, there's a bunch of FX going on, and you know, there's not much of a slowdown. It runs at 17, 16, and sometimes it runs at 30 also, depends where you are. I do have a config for this which I downloaded from Reddit. You can probably find it. It's like a performance config, and it just basically lowers the draw distance and some lighting effects. You can't really turn off shadows, but the game is very playable. It doesn't require any twitch motion or anything like that, so it works well enough, and depending on where you are, it's pretty smooth. So let's disengage, change some of my settings. Disengage, okay. So it's really playable. I was very surprised that this game plays it as well as it does. I thought it'd probably lag a lot, but it's actually very playable. You do have to set your CPU priority to high when you play this game, so every time you launch your game, you should go to your task manager and set CPU priority to high. It helps in some games, not so much in some games. So this is Dragon Age Inquisition, and it's running everything at low. You can see the settings over here. So it will say 720p on the resolution, but you can just lower the render level resolution scale to 55, and the rest is just low. Everything is low. Oh, my bad. I actually left this at medium. Actually, it runs even better when you set it to low. Now, in order to do that, I'll probably have to restart. Or not. Oh, alright, there you go. So there you go, you get like a huge FPS boost. As you can see, it hits 30 easily. At times, not always, but it's very, very playable. I don't know why I said that at medium, but it works well at medium also. So this is Dragon Age Inquisition, and let's move on to the next one. So this is GTA 5 loaded up. I did download a tweak from GTA 5 mods, and that basically just lowers your settings a bit in the INI file, and doesn't do that much. It's not really a mod per se. Basically just reduces the draw distance, removes shadows, and the game still looks really good. Now the one thing I read online is most people play this on DX10, which is a really bad idea because no matter what your benchmarks or other things say, DirectX 10 is really poorly optimized for a device like the GPD WIN, and DX11 runs really well. As you can see, if you use DirectX 11, which I'm using right here, as you can see in my graphics, so I have DirectX 11 on. It runs really well. It might use a little bit more memory, but if you set everything to low, it runs pretty well. And I do have a mod installed as well, which is Gang Wars, which I'm going to show you. The resolution is at the lowest, 800 by 600, with the aspect ratio set to 5 by 3 or 16 by 9. I don't have much of a problem with playing this game. It runs at around 18 to 20 frames, 16 to 20 frames, depending on where you are. And even when you have your gangs, which, let me just enable. I already have this, okay. Let me call my gang members. Alright, so I do have some cops coming, that's good. So I can show you that even when there's a large crowd, it only gets a little bit choppy, but it's still very, very playable. For some reason, when I restarted my device right now, the sound stopped working, so I have no idea what happened. This is actually my guy. Oh, this is my dude as well. If you guys haven't played Gang Wars, you should definitely download that mod. It basically lets you have gang members with you, so these are my guys. You can group them up, or you can go out and take territories with them. Let's find something to... This is actually my territory, so I can't find many bad dudes over here. It runs really well, surprisingly. This runs better than Saints Row the Third, which is an older game, so it just shows you how well this game is optimized if you have the right settings on. You don't have to put any mods or anything like that. Is there any guys over here? Nope, no guys over here. So unfortunately, I can't show you any combat because it's an open world game. So some things you should do, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the settings, you should also set your CPU priority for GTA 5 to high, and that does help with a lot of things. Yeah, this is my guy. I can't shoot him. But, well, that's GTA 5. It runs really well. Let me get into a car and show you the driving. I did not want it to be night, but it's night, so it's a bit harder to show stuff. So let's just see. The driving is okay. You get... The choppiness is very, very less. You barely get any choppiness. And this is running at 2 gigahertz, so... this is a bunch of stuff breaking over here. And yeah, it's totally fun to play. I would suggest you turn on auto aim when you're playing this, because the screen is just so small that you kind of have to use auto aim to target the enemies. Alright, that's GTA 5. So this is Saints Row the Third, and it's a really fun game. I hadn't played this game before. I did play Saints Row the Fourth on my PC, but I think Saints Row the Third is a much better game. It's a little bit more grounded. It's not a superhero game per se. So the indoors work really well. It's the outdoors can get a little bit slow sometimes, but not all the time, depending on what you're doing. It looks really nice too. It's pretty colorful. Let's take out a weapon. Blow this guy up. Oh, he's gonna kill me. He actually ran after me. This game is a little bit finicky because it only runs from a USB flash drive. It does not work if you put it on your C drive or anything like that. I don't know why that is. It's just how it works. It doesn't work from an SD card either, so you have to run it from a USB flash drive. And sometimes this game has this weird sort of slowdown. I don't know why. It's not always the case. It's just sometimes it happens. Oh, wait. Ah, these guys are bad dudes. Well. I'm gonna take the cop car. It's running pretty well. And there are things that you can do to make this game run faster, but I won't get into that. You probably have to use CPU cores and change priorities for everything, and it's not worth it. It runs okay. It's just a very finicky game. This is running on DX9 mode. DX11 is also okay. Maybe a bit better optimized, but the slowdown's a bit more apparent. So as you can see, you can drive pretty well. And I'm just gonna blow this car up because Saints Row is an awesome game. I didn't really like GTA 5 until I tried the Gang and Turf mod. After you put that mod in, GTA really becomes something special. Otherwise, I like Saints Row better because you can just have these awesome combat moments, which you can do with GTA provided it's modded. So this is Saints Row the Third. I wanted to show off Max Payne 3 because it runs so well, but I have not put that on my memory card yet. I'm using a 128 EVO memory card, but this is running off this crappy USB flash drive because it only runs via flash drive. So these are my open world games that I've been playing on the GPD WIN, and it's pretty much replaced my GPD XD and Android device, and I'm looking forward to the GPD WIN 2. So if you like the video, go ahead and like it. If you dislike it, go ahead and dislike it, but as always, thank you for watching.